WLEE News Talk 990. You are listening to the Community Radio Show with hosts Bukhari Sirraj and Muhammad Hadi.
You're listening on WLEE News Talk 990. The numbers are 788-0990, 877-953-3990. We got our own little...
Hold on. Say that slower. Because we need people
788-0990. Oh, so people aren't calling because I'm giving out the numbers too fast.
Put it this: if I was driving and I was trying to put that in my phone, it wouldn't have happened.
I'm too educated.
Oh wow!
First I speak too highfalutin, and then I give out the numbers too fast. So the numbers once again, real slow: 788-0990, 877-953-3990.
Yes.
So we're talking about some. I'm putting in quotes, air quotes here. Some misconceptions about Islam, and we figured that we just come out the gate swinging, and we're talking about jihad. And I know there are people out there that think we're crazy and disagree with us, and you're just fuming, and that you got the phone in your hand and you're almost about to hit the number. So go ahead, hit.
Hey, hit
talk. Go ahead.
Press the button. I listen to the radio a lot, man, and the second that Jihad comes out. Any other show, you're going to have a whole bunch of... And even if you're just mad and you just want to rant there's one, see?
I told you. We convinced them. I know. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
We'll welcome you to your views and opinions, and we'll give a rebuttal.
So, just kind of circling back. And they hung up. They got scared. We scared them, man.
Be nice, man. Be nice.
I am nice.
But go ahead and call back in. Hopefully, our engineer won't screw up the line again. And call back in,
please. We do. We won't. Trust me. We'll. If you want to, and you can request to talk to one or the other. So I'm probably going to get most of the requests. That's okay. I can understand.
Oh. So we got two educated and Butterfingers.
Exactly.
and Coffer over here.
Coffer. Yeah, I know. Really. So going back to the point as far as when historically this aberration I will still occurred in which the notion of jihad went from an internal struggle and a defensive struggle to an offensive struggle, and like I said, is that occurred in the middle of the 8th century, in which some jurists that were tied into the political establishment decided to say that the verse in the Quran that says there is no compulsion in religion, yes, we have that verse, there is no compulsion in religion, was in fact abrogated. And so two of the most famous Quranic jurists are those that interpret the Quran, that have a wealth of knowledge, Ibn Kathir and Tabari, which are still used today, said that no, those jurists that said that the verse there is no compulsion in religion was abrogated were wrong, and that in fact the verse in the Quran that says there is no compulsion in religion is a verse that's applicable for all times and was never abrogated.
And by the way, abrogated means superseded.
Yes, it means eliminated. Thank you. Should I like dumb down my vocabulary?
I don't even know if the word you used really helped very much at all.
Really?
You know what? I'm tired of messing with the 2 year. Let's go to this caller. We got Eden on the line. Let me see. Hopefully I won't hang up on you. Eden, are you on?
Welcome, Eden.
Assalamu alaikum. Question in reference to jihad. Some people kind of get the idea that the whole purpose of jihad is to make or force everyone to become Muslims. Can you expound on that a little bit, please?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Right. So part of how the evolution of that, what that became, is because the verses, there are verses in the Quran, and I'm going to answer your question in a second. I got to give you a little bit of background. There are verses in the Quran that are referred to as the verses of the sword. Right. We all know it. We all heard it. Here's it says fight in the way of God against those who fight you, but do not attack them first. There's others, and I'm not giving you the whole thing. I'm just giving you snippets here. And the one that it says is fight against them until idolatry is no more. It says, will you not fight a folk who broke their solemn pledges and proposed to drive out messengers and did attack you first? And so these verses are oftentimes quoted by people that are by Islamophobes, that says, look, Muslims have a duty to wage in an offensive jihad to convert people, which is absolutely incorrect, because there's the term jihad in the Quran, the word itself only appears 41 times, and there are plenty of times in which, even in these verses, at the end it talks about. Let me read this. It says, "Fight those who do not believe in God or the last day, and do not hold forbidden that which was forbidden by God and His apostle, or acknowledge the religion of truth." And then there's others in which it says, if they stop fighting with you, you can stop fighting. And so all of these were revealed in the context of a society that was at war all the time. It was a tribal society. And so to look at these verses in isolation is incorrect, and that's what gives the perception that we have an obligation, or we have an Islamic duty to try to convert people. To that I say is, if in fact that was true, which is not, if in fact that was true, the Islamic empire spread from modern day Central Asia, which is and Southeast Asia, all the way out to North Africa and Spain, right? If in fact Muslims had the obligation to convert everyone, why are there still Christians that are ethnic and indigenous Christians that are still in the Middle East as well? There's Jews as well that live in the Middle East. The highest population of Jews outside of Israel are in Iran, and so the holy places for the Christians and Jews in the Middle East are still there. And so this notion that either Islam was spread by the sword, or that we have an obligation to convert everyone, is absolutely not is a false number. Now, having said that, this is what Jack Gravity likes to call taking my people to the woodshed. Taking our own people to the woodshed. There are those that, for their own political reasons, or whatever it is, I don't know the intent, but for own personal gains or whatever reason, tend to want to interpret these in a particular way for their own personal gain. Putting a car bomb in a market is not jihad. That's oppression. That's not a form of jihad. You're killing innocent people, right, regardless of what the condition is. The highest percentage of people that have been killed by terrorists have been Muslim, right? So it's affecting us more than it is affecting the non-Muslim population, unfortunately. So I hope that answered your question. But now, being in fairness, I have a couple other verses of the sword here, and I guess if someone can call and tell me where they're from, I'll buy you dinner. So it says, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth, but a sword." There's another one here. I like this one. This one is great. So basically, it says that.
Just read the whole thing, man.
If a man read it or don't read it.
Read it.
All right. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of the city and unto the gate of his place, and they shall say unto the elders of the city, "This is our son, stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, and that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you." So basically,
right, and to clarify, those were not passages from the Quran. These are.
You just gave away the whole.
No, because you still want to know where they're from.
Yeah.
We still want to know where those are from. I mean, there's still other.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for someone to call to tell me if there's biblical verses.
Jumping the gun.
I know, jumping the gun, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you have live ammo.
I figured narrow it down for them.
Narrow it down for them.
Yeah,
by eliminating one book.
But, yeah.
I mean, hey, that leaves two more on the major.
Yeah. Sorry to digress. Back to the point here. In case you're out there trying to wonder what's going on. So basically, if you have a child who is a drunk or disobeys you, you can take him to the town elders and they can stone him. That's what this verse says. Right? Now, of course, that's ridiculous because I'm sure there's some context. That, by the way, the first verse I read was from Matthew 10:34. "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace on earth, but a sword." And that's attributed to the prophet Jesus, Matthew 10:34. The second one is from Deuteronomy 21:18. But my point being that we can all take religious texts and read them and understand them in isolation, and that doesn't do us any good.
Right.
I use this example as far as I put people that non-Muslims that have an understanding of Islam into two categories. There's one which is the Islamophobes, and they have this notion that inherently Islam is an evil religion, and that it's this political system that under the cover of religion and doing good and all that kind of stuff wants to dominate the world. I would argue that these are the same people that also think that people that are not white are intellectually and genetically inferior to the whites, kind of like the bell curve book from the mid 90s. Then there's other camp, I think, that people that are just out of just sheer ignorance don't know, and that Islam is no different than Christianity or Judaism in that yes, it does have these these particular type of verses, but it needs to be understood in context, and that throughout history we can point to hundreds and thousands of episodes in which religion was used for personal gain, and
right.
the abuse and misuse of Islam for personal gain or political gain is not the fault of the religion. It's not, and so those are the two kind of groups of people that I think are out there with respect to this. Again, going back to the beginning comments, that it comes out because this notion of Islam being a foreign religion. And it's kind of this foreign entity. But so the numbers again, 788-0990. It's 788-0990. We have 4 minutes left? 3 minutes?
3 minutes. That show went by fast.
That did go by fast, considering the fact that about an hour ago we didn't even know if we were going to have a show because
some interesting technical
difficulties. Yeah. So I wanted to bring up this one other notion that this whole notion that statistically, all Muslims, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. So if you go to State Department, they put out this country report on terrorism annually, and the latest one they had was for 2011. And so here's some terrorist organizations. Revolutionary Struggle from Greece, Revolutionary Organization 17 November, Greece. There's the Irish Republican Army. I kind of thought that they were... Real Irish Republican Army. So I guess the IRA, the original members of the IRA are now part of the British Parliament, so this is the kind of the tangent or the derivative of that. The Continuity Irish Republican Army. Communist Party of the Philippines. There. I know. I thought we were the ones that only had that problem, but
it's everywhere. So that's evidence of it right there.
But so if you didn't call and you're all fuming at the mouth, that's your fault, not ours. We gave you plenty of opportunity to call in and question us. But
I think he's mad today.
Who's mad?
You.
I'm not mad. I took all my meds this morning, and they're just
Well, like you said, we would definitely like you to call, and I was hoping to get more questions. I'm kind of in an answering mood, so I had a lot of good information, so I didn't butt in too much. But hopefully, maybe moving to next week, you guys can formulate some questions and call us and get some answers. As we said, we may not directly cover this topic, at least anytime soon. But it's always going to tie in into something that we always hear in the media, and that's where the concern is, because a lot of times it's not given the proper information, it's not given the proper documentation, and it's therefore looked at in a very negative light, which is a lot of times far from the truth. And that's all we're here to do. We're just trying to get people's thinking and understanding as close to the truth as possible, as with anything else.
Numbers once again 788-0990. So if throughout the week you want to shoot us an email or anything, you can just go to community radio show.
How much time do we have? Like a minute? In 30 seconds, what's your view on jihad?
In a minute and 30 seconds, what's my view on jihad?
You notice how he gave himself an extra minute.
I know, right? I just said 30 seconds. Hey, go ahead, do your thing. At least from your understanding, what's,
I mean...
Not that you have to define it, but what have you gotten from it?
My understanding, I guess, I don't know, I consider myself a little more, informed than the average casual person.
That's good.
At least I try to be, most definitely. I think any one person that thinks that a sector could encapsulate an entire belief or system or cast of people. I think that's asinine. Like, to think that's like saying like the Westboro Baptist Church. People, for people who don't know who that is, that's the God hates fags people. To see that and to think that would just be that's what Christianity is about. For example, that's just asinine. So,
gotcha.
I think people come away from this a little more informed, which is the entire point. So I think mission accomplished, most definitely.
Thanks. Well, that's the music. So that's the cue for us to go out.
We still got about 50 seconds. It's always an ongoing mission. So hopefully we can continue that.
So the website is communityradioshow.com, and don't forget to support our supporters, advertisers, because this show is funded through them. It's Chiropractic and Family Wellness, the AC Gem Eyes, Car Care Auto Center, Pure Yoga, our ladies only studio. The website once again is www.communityradioshow.com. You can find our email there, phone numbers, YouTube links, Twitter handle, Facebook page.
And again, just a reminder for the Aaron Warren Medical Fund, any Wells Fargo branch, you can go and make a deposit for that cause. Sorry, I just smacked the table.
You did, that boom.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to wrap up. This has been Bukhari, Sirraj, and Muhammad Hadi. This is the Community Radio Show.